Hello. I would like to welcome everyone here today and online to the Student Managed Farm powered by New Holland mid-year presentation. My name is Levi Penn-Conan and I am a first-year AST student.
My name is Robert Watson. I'm also a first-year AST student in the beef major. Here at Lakeland College, we acknowledge that the land we gather on is the traditional homeland, hunting, and ceremonial gathering places of the First Nations, Métis, and Inuit. The Plains Cree, Woodland Cree, Saulteaux, Blackfoot, Métis, Dene, and Nakota Sioux people have practiced their culture and languages on Treaty 6 and Métis Region 2 territories for generations and were the original caretakers of this land. Many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people call this land home today and have done so for millennia. We would like to acknowledge the history we have created together on this land and to thankful for the opportunity to walk together side by side in friendship, learning from our past, and promoting positive relationships for the past, present, and future.
I would like to introduce the SMF advisors. So for purebred beef, we have Austin Partington, commercial beef, Bevan Hamilton, extensive grazing commercial, Marissa Schubel, Bison, Erica Moore, dairy, Amber Sayers, Equine, Ron Hoffman. I would also like to welcome all other faculty and farm staff present today.
And finally, we welcome our classmates, the first-year AST students. And each unit will present, and then there will be a time for a maximum of 3 questions following each presentation. Students would be glad to ask any further questions after their presentations and during breaks. So first up is going to be the dairy unit presentation.
(2024) Dairy Unit Mid-Year Presentation. My name is Rebecca DeYoung from Jarvis, Ontario, and I have the privilege of being this year's Dairy Unit General Manager. This is my wonderful team behind me of 9 students from across the country. Our unit's mission statement is as follows. We strive to produce quality milk and raise healthy animals, focusing on production a non-lactating inventory plan, as well as a feed inventory plan. Our SWOT analysis is as follows. We have a diverse farm background, silage quality and inventory, a technologically advanced facility, and a passion for agriculture. Weaknesses include our first service conception rates, communication, team size, and location. Opportunities for the dairy unit include the Westerner Dairy Showcase participation, the WestGen Community Endowment Fund. We have a knowledgeable farm team, and we look forward to attending the Western Canadian Dairy Seminar. Threats to our team include potential drought, public perception, and inconsistent calving intervals.
My name is Casti Portis. I'm from Winchester, Ontario, and I am this year's Dairy Unit Financial Manager. This year, it is my job to take into account all financial matters surrounding the dairy unit. And our rebates and discounts concerning vet and medical accounts as well as repair accounts make up less than 1% of our income year to date. Our income year to date being April 1st of 2023 to November 15th of 2023. On the chart behind me, we can see our budget in blue compared to the income that we have amassed year to date, yet again being April 1st of 2023 to November 15th of 2023 in yellow. As is visible on the slide, we are well meeting and for the most part surpassing our projected incomes for this year. For further information on our incomes that have not yet seen recorded actuals, please refer to page 4 in the booklet. Behind me, we can see the income that we have for our projected milk sales for this year, being $1,405,620. We are well meeting this goal and are projected to surpass this goal considering that we have already amassed $955,243.96 worth of gross milk sales for this fiscal year. Behind me, we can see a breakdown of our expenses. Expenses are coming in slightly higher than projected, considering that we are 7.5 months through our 12-month fiscal year. We can see feed expenses making up 84% of our budget, milk deductions making up 8%, vet and medical expenses coming in at 4%, hoof trimming costs as well as registration expenses both coming in at 1% of our budget, and shavings and bedding coming in also at 1% of our budget, and our registration costs coming in at less than 1% of our budget. Our expenses are slightly higher than projected. This can be attributed to the overall inflation of feeds and fuels, as well as general farm supplies through this year. Behind me, we can see our feed expenses for this year. Due to a miscommunication between our team at Central Feed and our finance team, I ask that you please refer to my slides for the up-to-date actuals compared to your booklet. As you can see, our feed expenses are coming in slightly higher than we projected, yet again, considering that we are 7.5 months through our already 12-month fiscal year. We have already used 84% of our feed expense budget to date. As is visible on the slide behind me, our team has amassed enough information to provide you with an accurate prediction of when the average cow within the Lakeland dairy herd will begin to make a profit. This is her break-even point. We take into account all expenses that may go into a cow through her productive life and every cost per every treatment that each cow may undergo and contrast them with her accumulated milk value. Through the contrasting with her accumulated milk value, we're able to tell you that accurately that the average cow within the Lakeland College dairy herd will reach her break-even point through the mid-portion of her third lactation.
My name is John, and I am this year's feed coordinator for the dairy SMF team. So my job includes looking over the rations and adjusting them as needed. Also within my role, I am to take dry matter tests of both our barley silage and our corn silage weekly. Drier than ideal for a couple weeks. To help counteract this, we added more corn silage instead of barley silage into the diet. This is to help increase the energy levels. Also, about halfway through November, we had the addition of C16 palm fat to help the energy levels within the diet and increase body condition score of our animals. That increase in energy will also help our reproductive rates. I also take weekly shaker boxes of both feeds, and it is very consistent throughout the entirety of the semester. Here at the DLC, we're very fortunate to have a Lely Vector. It feeds the cows many times daily, and recently, for the past couple of weeks, it has been running at a 96 to 98% accuracy. This is great considering the accuracy goal for this Lely Vector is a 90%. One more notable stat to mention on this is that currently it is running at a 50 to 65% idle time. Therefore, it has the opportunity to feed many more animals. Last thing I'd like to touch on is current cost per head per day. For our lactating animals, it is currently $14.05 a day. Yes, this is high, but with the rising price of commodities and also with the barley silage not being the best quality, it is necessary to ensure high production within our animals. The current cost per liter of production is 38 cents. For more information on the rations and cost per head per day, you can reference the booklet in page 5.
I'm Kasia Bowman. I'm from Linwood, Ontario, and I'm this year's Udder Health and Production Coordinator. This semester, I've looked into the prevalence of contagious versus environmental mastitis pathogens. As seen on the graph labeled mastitis pathogens, we've identified that contagious mastitis consistent bedding and shavings, 2 to 3 times a week, Dry Cow Care Plus, as well as pre and post dips, and finally, 1 milking towel per cow. On the production side of things, comparing 2022 to 2023, 2023 has been a fairly better year, and we are currently working on improving our production through the use of feed via corn silage as well as the addition of C16 palm fat. The reason for the dip in August to October is due to many factors, including heat stress, as it was a more warmer fall than most, moving stress from the epoxy and grooving as we moved our cows around quite frequently, and finally, the robot feeder sensor being broken down through the month of October. This is now fixed. For more information regarding production, please see page 6 of the booklet.
Hello everyone, my name is Jamie Beisterveld. I'm from Oser, Saskatchewan. Industry standard, according to the Alberta Dairy Cost Study, is $232.01. We are above industry standard because our vet is coming from Leduc, making our bill quite a bit higher. Our vet also contributes to learning experiences on farm for the dairy SMF group. Our vet cost per hectoliter is $3.03, and industry standard, according to the Alberta Dairy Cost Study, is $2.24. We are again above industry standard for the same reason our vet cost per cow per year is. Our vet is coming from a ways away. Part of my role as herd health coordinator is to take care of hoof health. Hoof health includes making and walking the cows through the foot baths and monitoring all hoof health issues. We have hoof trimmings twice a year and run all of our lactating cows through a foot bath twice a day, 2 days a week. For foot baths, we alternate products every other week. 1 week is acidified copper sulfate, and the next will be acidified copper zinc. As you can see on the graph behind me, our overall hoof health has been beginning to improve in the herd over the past 6 years. This is due to improved hoof health protocol and care. On our last hoof trimming day, we had 8 cows with digital dermatitis, 4 with sol ulcers, 4 with interdigital hyperplasia, 2 with a white line lesion, and 1 with a toe ulcer.
Quite a bit, but staying persistently higher in the months we are present in the barn. Our percentages are based on the number of calves born each month compared to the number of cases we have treated. This is because calves normally are affected by scours in their first month of life. Pneumonia causes a loss in production, as calves who have had pneumonia are less likely to have a higher weight gain. Our treatments of pneumonia in the DLC are the administration of Resflor. If it is more severe, we will administrate Nufor, and lastly, Draxin if it is very severe. It is also recommended to give Medicam for 2 treatments if required. Ventilation is also a key factor in pneumonia prevention. Here we have a Maximus ventilation system which circulates the air and is kicked in by temperature recognition. Overcrowding is also a large factor. However, we are meeting our proaction protocols as they state that the calves must be able to turn around 180 degrees, lay down, and walk comfortably. Here at the DLC, we have a higher prevalence of pneumonia and scour cases from September to April. This is because students are present in the barn and is due to biosecurity measures, even though we ensure that they are being followed. Stressful events such as moving calves, dehorning, and vaccinating can also cause an increased risk in pneumonia and scours. In August of 2023, we decided to implement the Braden starter grain feeding bottle in our calf rooms to see if there would be a reduction in the number of cross-sucking cases as well as nose paddles needed. Cross-sucking is an issue in the dairy industry, as calves who have been sucked on can form abscesses, as well as elongated teats, mastitis, and only milking on 3/4. Since implementing the bottle in our barn, we have seen a large reduction in the number of cases. However, we are unable to know the true effects until they are back into the milking herd as heifers, which will be in about 2 years.
Hello. issue. This is an improvement from past years due to the new dry cow facility and improved rations. On the screen are preventative measures the dairy unit takes to prevent metabolic disorders, like providing bovacalc boluses post-calving costing $23.04 and providing Kexstone boluses prior to calving costing $26.69. These not only prevent metabolic disorders, they will also prevent the losses and costs associated with them, like having to treat animals, dump milk, and have reduced reproduction and reduced production throughout the lactation. The government of Manitoba values the loss associated with milk fever at well over $400 when you factor in reduced reproduction, reduced production, veterinarian costs, and the possibility of developing other costly metabolic disorders, which makes our preventative worth the cost rather than risking an animal develop a metabolic disorder and having to pay to treat it, rather if we could have just prevented it for less money. Monitoring body condition score prior to calving allows us to have insight to see whether an animal is at risk of developing metabolic disorders or at risk of difficult calving. Animals with too much or too little condition are more at risk of having difficult calving and more at risk of developing metabolic disorders. I am also this year's range and forage coordinator. We were able to house all of our dry animals in our dry cow facility this year. With the new dry cow facility that was built, we have the opportunity to build a 5-acre pasture around it. This will allow for animals to graze. It will also increase the amount of animals we can keep in our dry cow facility, and it will provide an area off of concrete floors. The mix that the previous team purchased last year is a Barenberg grass mix, and on the board are the different types of grass varieties it consists of. This mix is drought tolerant and provides a strong sod in the ground. It will also allow for adequate plant growth throughout the year. Due to the limited land base, the 5-acre pasture will have to be fenced in strips to allow for proper pasture management.
Hi, my name is Nicole Elliker, and I'm this year's Mixed Farm SOPs and Records Coordinator. As Mixed Farm Coordinator, myself and the other Mixed Farm Coordinators from the Livestock and Crops team get together once a week to update one another on what each team is doing and collectively make decisions. For example, with the spreading of the dairy's liquid manure, we decided which fields it will go on based on crop rotation, soil samples, and field use. This fall, we spread a total of 1.3 million gallons on LCP 21, 22, 23, and 24 at a rate of 5,000 gallons per acre. Please refer to the booklet on page 5 for a map of the college land. Along with manure for mixed farm, the dairy team came up with a 5-year recommendation plan for corn silage varieties. We presented this plan to the crops team and livestock team on using the same 3 varieties that were used last year, and recommended to continue using them for the next 5 years. In doing this, our goal is to get more data on these varieties, to be able to compare them with varieties used in the past and see if these are beneficial to the dairy. The 3 varieties are Pride 1017, Pioneer 6202, Pioneer 7202, and Pioneer 6909. As SOPs coordinator, it is my job to divide up the SOPs that need editing, and each person edits an SOP in accordance with their position. In February of next year, we will be doing our self-declaration for pro-action. As far as records, each person is responsible in recording any procedures they've done in Dairy Comp and in our daily planner.
I am also on this year's breeding team. This year the team is looking to improve thurl placement and rump angle. We are going to be doing this by selecting bulls that match this criteria without sacrificing mammary system, production, and feet and legs. We see thurl placement and rump angle as an area we can improve because it was the weakest area on our most recent classification, as well it directly relates to an animal's locomotion. Please refer to page 6 of the booklet to see a breakdown of our breeding program.
I'm also on this year's reproduction team, and as a team we decide heifers in and out of our herd for various reasons using important tools such as genomics, done as elevate testing as a calf. As a team, we've decided any LPI over 2600 is a good suit for our herd, as this improves our type and keeps it within our breeding. I've also looked into the disease prevalence and whether the calf has had pneumonia, scours, or a naval infection, as all of these can cause issues later on as a lactating cow. We also look into breeding age and fertility and keep all of these factors in mind when deciding a heifer for our herd.
We are continuing with last year's recommendation of improving our conception and pregnancy rate in our parlor cows. We would like to be as close as possible to the Western Canadian benchmark created by Lactanet. There is currently a 7% difference in conception rates between our parlor and robot cows. This is due to poor heat detection. Thanks to the Community Endowment Fund the DLC was funded through WestGen, we were able to purchase 50 new Sense Hub heat detection collars. These collars have been placed on our parlor cows that are late days in milk and not pregnant, as well as our fresh cows to monitor their health as they are at a more vulnerable stage. These collars have also been placed on our close-up dry cows to monitor rumination to have a better idea of when they may calve. Please refer to page 7 in your booklet for more information on our services per conception and days open. The dairy unit would like to extend a huge thank you to WestGen for their ongoing support.
Hi, I'm Gelsey Bicker. I'm from Bard, Alberta, and I'm this year's Public Relations Coordinator. Within my position, it is my job to advertise and promote Lakeland College to the youth who are interested in an agricultural career. These graphs show the amount of followers of every month from August 24th to November 24th for Instagram and Facebook. Instagram had a 26.3% increase rate, having a total of 278 followers. Facebook had a 2.56% increase rate, giving Facebook 1,247 followers. The most liked post on Instagram is where I introduced the SMF team using the Full House theme song, having a total of 144 likes. The most liked post for Facebook is where I also introduced the SMF team with individual pictures, including a write-up about themselves, having a total of 119 likes. As a team, we were excited to receive a flat farmer in the mail from a girl named Maya who lives in Florida. In the mail came a cutout farmer and a letter asking questions about the dairy barn and sharing personal interests. As a team, we came up with a video of us touring the flat farmer around the dairy barn. This is an exciting opportunity to showcase the Lakeland Dairy Learning Center in another country.
The dairy unit would like to thank everyone who has supported us thus far in the semester and continues to support us. This concludes our presentation. We will now open the floor to any questions. So the question was, what is the reason why our cull cows are projected so much higher? So I will hand the floor over to our finance coordinator, Cassidy Porteous.
So our cull cow sales are so much more over budget for our income this year. This is attributed to the fact that over the past roughly 2 years, the last two dairy units did not take into account their cull cow sales, as in they did not cull as many cows as they probably should have. Compared to this year, we're doing harsher culling based on our lack of conception rate per first service. Does this answer your question?
Yes. So the question was about our corn varieties and if we had more information on the North Star variety as it's mentioned in the picture. So for this, I will hand it over to our mixed farm coordinator, Nicole Elliker.
So the North Star wasn't actually part of the recommendation that we're doing, but it was just in that picture, and that was the only picture that we had of the other three varieties. Does that answer your question?
Up next, we have the extensive grazing commercial unit and their presentation.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Harley Carlson, and I'm from Elm Creek, Manitoba. And I have the pleasure of being this year's General Manager of the Extensive Grazing Commercial Beef Unit. We are another commercial beef unit that calves in May, and we provide a low input system for our herd. So this year's team consists of 8 members from across Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta, and our purpose is to sustainably manage an extensive, low-input operation while exploring various cattle management practices. Some recommendations we had from last year was to retag the herd with engravable tags, reevaluate selling bred heifers in the roundup sale, buy a new Hereford bull, and to continue working closely with research. So we've decided that next semester that we will finish retagging the herd with engravable tags. We have a pen of 3 bred heifers going into the roundup sale. We have started the discussion around our bull strategy, and we are still working with research on their swath grazing trial. Our mission statement is to sustainably manage an extensive, low-maintenance, strong maternal cow herd with a vast amount of information regarding the animal's background data, breed composition, and management system data in order to apply to a larger scale operation to improve management practices. Some long-term goals we have as a team is to continually increase the number of grazing days in a year, improve the health of the land and soil, and to explore various grazing strategies for both summer and winter. Some short-term goals we have for our team is to have a successful winter bale grazing. This will be measured by the amount of litter left in the field and the condition of our cows coming off of it. We would also like to continue working well as a team and increase the number of first years interested in joining this unit. For our SWOT analysis, under strengths we have our team size and dynamics, and we are willing to help out and learn whenever needed. And we also have our strong maternal cow herd, which are genetically built to thrive in the environments that we provide for them. Under weaknesses, we have the lack of public exposure and our time management, as we have to work around 4 different class schedules. Under opportunities, we have the high calf prices, the heifer selection trial with Dr. Susan Marcus, and the swath grazing trial with Dr. Obia Durana. And under threats, we have the high feed prices and the lack of land available around the college.
Hi, my name is Eliza Anderson, and I am from Big Beaver, Saskatchewan, and I'm this year's records coordinator. For inventory this year, we have 49 cows, 9 bred heifers, 25 replacement heifers, and 2 bulls, with a total inventory value of $158,257.50. This is our current inventory after the sale of our cull cows and steer calves. For our key performance indicators of this year, we have a growth rate of 40% of dams weight at 205 days, an open rate of 17.8% that is split between our cows and our heifers that we believe is due to a copper deficiency found in our cattle and the drought year. We have a length of calving season of 93 days, which we believe is due to a bull getting in with our cows early in the season, creating an early calving season. Our cows assisted at calving is 100% unassisted, which we are happy with due to us calving on pasture. Our death loss is 1% due to the death of a twin calf, and our grazing days is 186 grazing days total, which will continue to increase throughout the year.
Hello, my name is Aspen McTaggart. I'm from Panoka, Alberta, and I am this year's nutrition coordinator. This year, from November 1st to November 15th, our cows grazed 913S grazing corn donated by North Star Genetics. We are really happy with this corn because, as you can see in the picture, the center of the cob and the kernels are very white. This means a high starch content and more palatability for the cow, as well as the cob is going to hold on to those kernels better. The entire field was split into 3 paddocks that were roughly 3 acres each, and dry matter was tested to be 48%. Based on this, I calculated our cows to be in each paddock for 8.5 days. Our actual days was 6 days in paddock 1, 4 days in paddock 2, and 5 days in paddock 3. Some reasons that we think our actual days was less than the calculated days was that there was more than the predicted 15% residue, and our cows also broke out of the first paddock, so they didn't clean up as well as we wanted them to. Please see page 13 and 14 in the booklet for a breakdown of these calculations. While on corn, we also switched to a 15-4-4 mineral and added limestone in order to bump up our calcium levels. This helped us achieve the 3-to-1 calcium to phosphorus ratio that is needed when grazing corn. After November 15th, we also briefly supplemented bales while we waited for bale grazing to get organized. For bale grazing this year, there will be 9 bales in each 3-day paddock. This is based on our heifers, cows, and calves, the intake being 2.5% of body weight from November 29th to April 1st, and with 80% utilization. We've decided to substitute a third of our hay bales for pea straw bales with added molasses. This is in order to conserve the college's supply of forage, as feed prices are expected to be high again next year. With our current paddock plan, we will have 6 hay and 3 pea straw in each paddock, and we will need 325 bales total.
My name is Bailey Dementor, and I'm this year's mixed farm coordinator. I worked alongside crops to decide where we were going to bale graze this year. Ultimately, we decided that LC45 was our best option as it has winter water. Our paddock plan is designed to have 26 paddocks, approximately 3 acres big, with a water alley running down the middle. This gives us optimal utilization of the field and allowing us enough space to spread out our bales evenly. This also gives us access to LC6 when it comes time to graze it. I'd like to acknowledge Kyle Hafner for making the water risers for us, for our cows to access the water alley. This year we're using the Razor grazer to power our electric fence. This can be ran off of a battery or by solar. I'd like to acknowledge research for allowing us to use this.
Hi, my name is Emily Rumpf. I'm from Battleford, Saskatchewan, and I'm this year's marketing coordinator. This is a copy of our break-even, which we used to determine when we would sell our calves. We compared selling it January and November. November 25th, the futures market took a drop, making us come back and update this sheet. We then saw we would be losing $360 a head if we kept our calves and sold them in January. We sold 30 steer calves to Vermilion Livestock Exchange at the average weight class of 595 pounds and an average price of $370 a pound. Our high calves sold for $467 a pound. These prices support our decision of selling in November. For cull cows, we sold our Hereford bull Miles McGee for a total of $3,500, as well as a heifer for temperament reasons for a total of $2,500, and 4 bred cows in April from last year's team for a total of $7,900. These are prices not including deductions. We also sold 15 cows during preg checking time. As these are not shown on the slide, they will be shown at final presentation due to not having the receipt. For more information and a full copy of the break-even, please refer to page 17 of your booklet.
Hello, my name is Jasmine Peter. I'm from Rimbey, Alberta, and I'm this year's finance manager. From April 1st to November 15th, as stated by Emily, our income has consisted of our 1 breeding bull, 1 bred heifer, and 4 bred cows. Any calf sales and open cull cow sales will be included in final presentation. Please note that the budget is set for 1 whole year for both income and expenses. We made more with our bull sales than what last year's team had predicted for the budget. The budget was set for $1,700, meaning we made an extra $1,700. For our higher expenses over $1,000, we have grazing, feed, labor, corral cleaning, farm supplies, vet and medical, and equipment rental. Our highest cost being our grazing at just over $18,000, and our second highest cost being feed at just over $14,000. This includes any salt and minerals purchased, along with $1,000 of fall rye seed. Any hay being used for our current bale grazing will be included in final presentation. For our lower expenses under $1,000, we have utilities, research, carcass ultrasounding, sale deductions, bull insurance, and semen testing. For our expenses compared to our budget, we are over budget
This year we've had 2 cases of pink eye, 1 case we treated with a patch to stop further infection, 1 case of lameness, 1 case of foot rot, and 1 case of pneumonia. For treatment costs this year, we have treated with Dopisil LA, which was $6.48, which we used to treat lameness and pink eye. Resflor was $23.04, which we used to treat pneumonia. Metcam was $7.80, and Oxyvet 200 was $2.20, which we used to treat foot rot. These costs are found by the dollar per cc times the cc used equals the total treatment cost.
I'm Ashley. With 18, Miles McGee with 21, 64J our Angus Bull with 12, as well as 10 tests come back unknown. This year we have decided that we are going to keep 25 heifers. We plan to breed them all in hopes to improve our reproductive traits as well as combat our high open rates.
My name is Samantha Simonson from Outlook, Saskatchewan, and I'm this year's Range and Forage Coordinator. This year's grazing started off on LC22 at the start of April. Last year's team chose to shred bales on that pasture in hopes of regenerating it. At the start of June, we moved our cows to LC23. This pasture was split into 6 paddocks, and each paddock was grazed for 1 to 2 weeks. In mid-July, we moved our cows to LC22. A few days later, we moved part of our herd to LC 15-16, and the rest of our herd went to LC 27. When this year's team got to school, we moved our cows from LC 15-16 to LC 21 and brought the rest of our herd home from LC 27 later that month. A few days later, we moved our cows to LC 12 to start aftermath grazing. They were there for about a month, and they grazed corn and barley silage residue. At the beginning of November, we moved our cows to corn, and at the end of November, we moved them to LC 45 to start bale grazing. This is where they will stay for the rest of the winter. For further information where this year's team has moved our animals, please refer to page 15 in your booklet. This year's range and forage goal is to maintain our pastures and standing forages, to optimize grazing days and pasture health. We have realized that our pastures are overgrazed. Part of this is due to the drought, and part of this is due to moving our cows unexpectedly and having nowhere to put them. For a risk management solution to this, we have decided to create realistic and flexible grazing plans next semester. Our total grazing costs so far have been $18,000, which is under the budget that last year's team has set for us at $22,500. The rest of this budget will go towards grazing LC6 later this winter.
Hi, I'm also this year's Roundup Coordinator. This year we decided to put a pen of 3 of our bred heifers into the sale. These were chosen alongside Dr. Susan Marcus based on their background data as well as uniformity. The sale takes place on March 23rd, and we hope to see you all there. I'm also this year's Research Coordinator. This year, we are still involved with the swath grazing trial, as well as the heifer selection trial with Dr. Susan Marcus. We as a team sat down with Dr. Susan Marcus to analyze the spreadsheet of data taken on all of our heifers. We were then able to choose our best heifers to keep back as replacements, as well as our lot for the Roundup sale. This is a great opportunity for us as students, as it will positively impact our herd for years to come. Being involved in the swath grazing trial is also a great opportunity for us as we get to learn more about swath and paddock management.
I am also this year's Public Relations Coordinator. So on our Facebook page, we have had an increase of 11 page likes since September 1st and a reach of almost 15,000. And on our Instagram page, we've had an increase of 33 new followers since September 1st and a reach of about 800. Feel free to scan this QR code to follow along to see what else we get up to during the year. And for more information regarding our page reach and likes, our page reach and follows, please reference page 18 in the booklet. And I'd like to say thank you to a few people. First, Marisa Schubel, our faculty advisor, Kyle Hafner and Chris Lehman from the farm team, New Holland Agriculture, Tracy Quinton, the rest of the farm staff, and the rest of the ag faculty, as well as the research department. We will now open the floor to any questions. Yeah.
What traits are you looking for within your next Hereford Bowl?
So the question that is asked is what traits we'll be looking for in our next Hereford Bowl. I will pass this to Ashley, our reproduction coordinator.
We have had minimal discussion about our getting a Hereford Bull. So if possible, at this time, I don't know the answer, but could I please get back to you?
Yeah.
You had one of your goals in the beginning is that you were going to reevaluate putting some of the heifers into the roundup sale. What was your reevaluation process?
So the question that is asked is, one of our goals was to reevaluate selling heifers in the roundup sale, and what was that process? I'll take this one. So we discussed it as a team, and with last year's team, they decided to sell a few bred heifers over Facebook. And looking back on that, we decided that they may not have reached their full potential selling through Facebook, so we decided to put them back in the sale, as well as the roundup committee wants more SMF units involved with the sale. Does that answer your question?
Thank you to the extensive grazing commercial team. I would like to call up the Bison team next.
Good afternoon. My name is Kiefer Giddish. I'm from North Battleford, Saskatchewan, and I am this year's Bison Unit General Manager. Our team this year consists of 5 members from varying backgrounds in agriculture. Our vision is to establish a foundation for a productive and profitable bison herd. We aim to achieve this through education, improved pasture management, and contribution to the bison industry. Our team has created some short-term and long-term goals for this year. Our short-term goals is to improve and manage our net profit loss by making production decisions that make sense economically, as well as develop strong industry connections by reaching out to producers and industry experts for recommendations and advice, as well as attend industry conferences and events. Our long-term goals is to improve our pasture productivity through improved grazing management and to continue to establish a strong foundation for future SMF teams as our unit is in its establishing years. For our SWOT analysis, some strengths that we have identified is our herd size, as our larger herd size allows us more flexibility with our management decisions, as well as maximal hands-on experience. Our land availability, as we currently have 6 quarters available to us, and established facilities, as we have a fully functioning handling facility available for us to use for processing. For weaknesses, we have multiple roles, as this creates a heavy workload and added stress during busy times. We have our watering system, as we have had many challenges with it so far this year. and developing unit as this is only the second year of the unit and the first full year that the bison have been on our own land for us to manage. For opportunities, we have industry support, as we are very fortunate to have many producers support us and provide us with opportunities to further our learning. An increase in demand as the bison market in Canada is growing with an increase in production, slaughter, and live export numbers. A niche market as there is less competition and a closely connected industry. For threats, we have feed costs and drought, as this has impacted our pasture production, feed availability, and higher feed costs. Late snowfall, as this has impacted our water and our forage, as snow cover is vital for moisture retention in our pastures. And finally, we have niche market, once again, as it is a small market with frequent fluctuations.
Hello, my name is Paige Ginrich. I'm from St. Albert, Alberta, and I am this year's Secretary and Records Coordinator. This year, for our key performance indicators, we went with a modified version of gold to fit bison industry standards. We were unable to get weights on our calves this year for our growth rate, as there is currently no scale at our handling facility. For our open rate, we had 6.5%, our calving season ended on June 23rd, and we had a 1% death loss. For our herd inventory, we currently have 155 cows, 9 bulls, 3 bulls donated on lease from Dean Andres at Rangeland Bison for the 2023 breeding season, 35 bred heifers, 76 bull calves, and 68 heifer calves, 10 of which we will be keeping back as replacement breeding stock.
I'm Alexis Swoke. I'm from Manville, Alberta, and I'm this year's nutrition coordinator. My role in the unit is to calculate our rations and our feed management. Our current ration is currently a 3-to-1 ratio of grass mix, hay, and barley straw. We also are feeding in alongside a northern bison mineral and loose blue cobalt salt. The graph above shows the percent of each feed in our current ration. Our bison are also able to graze the remaining forages available on their pasture. We are bale shredding this ration daily with straw mixed in and on top in order to discourage the bison from picking through the feed. The straw also provides more dry matter intake and it reduces our feed costs. For more information, please refer to page 22 of the booklet. Our current ration is based off of feeding 2.2% of the bison's body weight per day in dry matter. The chart above shows the concentration of each nutrient available in our feedings. We use cow bites and other resources to determine our analyses. We are also feeding till December 30th this year, and then we will be reevaluating our ration in order to keep up with the bison's seasonal nutritional needs. We also switched mineral this year in order to combat a consumption issue we were having on our previous blend in our herd. The new mineral is specially formulated for bison and contains higher trace minerals and vitamins such as selenium, copper, zinc, and manganese. This new mineral took in consideration common deficiencies seen in our bison herds in our area and to ensure our bison were getting their needs met. Our mineral was recommended to be fed alongside of the loose blue cobalt salt in order to increase the palatability and to regulate the intake of the mineral. Our bison moved on to the mineral successfully and have proper intake levels. We began feeding October 2nd and plan to feed until December 30th. It is projected to cost us $50,584.09. Our current cost per head per day is $2.74, which $2.29 of that comes from hay costs alone. Our ration cost is higher than expected this year due to having to feed earlier because of our pasture's declining state of health. We plan on feeding late into May next semester in order to keep the bison off the pasture and defer grazing in order to help with forage preservation and pasture rejuvenation. For more information, please refer to slide 23 of the booklet.
I'm also this year's health coordinator. So far this year, we have lost 3 calves. 1 was stillborn, 1 due to predation, and another was lost during processing. We also lost 2 cows, 1 after being stuck in a mud pit, and another died of natural causes after self-isolating for several weeks. At weaning, we vaccinated our calves with Somnovision 8-Way to protect against clostridial diseases and dewormed with bimectin, an injectable form of ivermectin. We worked with Dr. Tim Goodbrand at Vermilion Vet Clinic and Dr. Gerald Howard to create our vaccination and herd health plans.
Hi, my name is Sarah McClelland, and I'm this year's finance coordinator. This year, our two main sources of income are our cull cows and our calf crop. Currently, 100% of our income comes from our cull cows sold by last year's team that have fallen into our fiscal year. This equates to $8,606 of our budgeted $124,800. This year, we have budgeted $67,000 in bull calf sales, $49,800 in heifer calf sales, and $8,000 in cull cow sales. We are currently showing no calf income as our sale occurred last evening and will be highlighted in our final presentations. This year, majority of our expenses are made up by our grazing costs and our feed costs, as grazing costs make up 50% of our total expenses and feed costs make up 22%. We have spent a total of $119,000 of our budgeted $211,000. This year, we decided to start up a new tagging system. This has cost us $411, $376 over budget. We decided to start up a new system as this will make it easier for us to identify our cows and our replacements while on health checks and doing our herd management. The bull purchases also shown this year were made by last year's team and have fallen into our fiscal year as well. The feed costs shown in our booklet have been updated on our slides to increase the accuracy. Labor has also been added to our slides to show our up-to-date actuals. For more information about our budget, please refer to page 24 in the booklet. After all of our allocated income and expenses, we have spent we are showing a net loss of $111,000.
I am also this year's range and forage coordinator. Our current land base consists of 8 quarter sections along with a handling facility. The quarter sections are all fenced for bison. We are currently grazing LCP 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, and 34. There is a 60-acre hay piece as well as our handling facility found on the south half of LCP 31. We were able to graze the hay piece as well as in and around our handling facility to extend our grazing days this year. Our herd is currently on LCP 32 and our calves on LCP 31. We have 2 new heated watering bowls on LCP 31 and 32. The water bowl on LCP 32 is also accessible from LCP 30 and 33. We have had many challenges with our watering system so far this year. Due to the drought, the 2 larger dugouts previously used as a water source has gone completely dry. Our current water well output is low and has some difficulty keeping up with our herd size. And the late snowfall has impacted our water as well, as bison will generally use this as their main source of winter water as long as it is of good quality. We had planned on the snow alleviating some pressure from our well. Our grazing costs for the 2023 season were projected at $60,400, and our actual realized grazing costs were $60,376.28. We grazed for 152 days. The grazing plan for the 2023 season was to rotationally graze the herd. The plan was not able to be followed later in the season due to the limited forage production. We began feeding on the 16th of October. We have chosen bale shredding as our winter feeding method this year. We evaluated the pros and cons of different feeding strategies before choosing to bale shred. Some of the positive factors that influenced our choice include that bale shredding limits competition and allows the smaller and less dominant animals equal access to feed. It allows us to rotate our feeding sites for a more even distribution of organic matter. It has lower input costs as we already have access to a tractor and bale shredder. Herd health is more easily managed as the animals are spread out while feeding, and a positive association with the tractor when feeding leads to the ease of herd movement. Our forage production this year was very low. Upon completing pasture assessments, we have concluded that all of our pastures are in a declining state of health with a significant amount of weedy disturbance due to the drought year and overgrazing. We are currently managing our herd size to mitigate the effects of overgrazing.
Hi, my name is Kiera Kramer and I am from Barhead, Alberta, and I am this year's facility coordinator. We are very fortunate to have a bison system located on the southwest corner of LCP 31. November 28th was the first time we have used this system and the first time our herd has been through this system. We plan to use it again in the beginning of January, where we'll be preg checking and reducing our herd to a manageable size. Some of our updates that we have completed to our system this year have been a catwalk, which allows us to work the bison from beside them and not on the ground. We have started looking at getting a new system, and we've started with High Hog. We will reach out to other manufacturers in the new year to continue getting more quotes. All of our perimeter fencing is fenced off with bison fencing. Our cross fences need to be worked on. Without having functional cross fences, this limits us how we can rotationally graze our herd and how we can worry about our pasture management.
We completed a hard wean and processed our calves, which included tagging and vaccinations, on November 28th. The following day, we split them into heifer and bull calves and chose our 10 replacements. We decided to wean and sell earlier than industry average this year, given our current pasture and water situations. We did this in consultation with members of industry, and they advised us that it was our best option.
I'm also this year's marketing coordinator. This year we have chosen to sell our calves through Jack Auction Group based in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. We've chosen Jack Auction as they are one of the largest online bison auctions available to us, and they have helped us through the auctioning process and have allowed us into their December 7th sale on short notice. The graph shown behind me highlights the 2022 market trends that showed us that our calf prices should peak in December. Earlier this year, our team ran a break-even analysis to show us how much we need to make per head and per pound to break even this year. These break-evens were based on having 134 calves for auction at 390 pounds. This showed us that we need $1,300 per calf, or $3.44 per pound.
I am also this year's mixed farm coordinator. One thing that we do in mixed farms is keep a spreadsheet of all our soil samples so we know our phosphorus levels and where we can spread manure in future years.
I'm also this year's public relations coordinator. My role in this unit is to keep the public and producers informed on any events and activities that occur in our unit. Our Facebook currently has 2,600 reached users, 1,400 engagements, 210 followers, 121 page likes, and 9 posts. Our top post was posted November 22nd, 2023. It reached 605 users, has 21 likes, and 45 reactions. Our Instagram has 198 followers, 412 likes, over 9 posts. Our top Instagram post was posted September 26, 2023, and it has 56 likes and 5 comments.
We would like to take the time to thank the late Armin and Rita Mueller, as well as their family, New Holland Agriculture, our advisor, Erica Moore, Leroy Lehman, Jaden Kramer, as well as the rest of the farm team and faculty members. Thank you to Brennan Jack, Bruce Downey, and everyone at Jack Auction Group, as well as all of the producers and industry members who have helped and guided us this semester. I would now like to open up the floor for questions. Yes. So the question was we're selling our calves through a Brennan auction, which is based in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, if we have any health issues due to us having to capture and process them. And I'm going to hand this over to our marketing coordinator, Sarah.
So our calves aren't actually trucked to Prince Albert to be in an auction. It's an online auction, so a representative from Jack Auction will come out and take videos of our calves, and those videos will be displayed in the sale. So we haven't really had any issues with any illnesses due to processing or any trucking or anything. Does this answer your question?
Yes, way in the back.
Why are you not selling your cows in the roundup?
Okay, I am also going to hand this question over to Sarah.
We're not selling our calves in the roundup, as with the roundup sale, all of the other units will have their animals on the property. It's just not really safe enough to have our bison here. They get very rowdy, and there's the fences that they need to be kept in are much different than those of cattle, so it's just not a safe option to keep them here. Does that answer your question?
Do you guys have any other plans for pasture rejuvenation?
Okay, so the question was if we have any plans for pasture rejuvenation. So I will be answering this question. We have just started to talk about our pastures. Assessments, we have planned to keep our, we calve out in pasture, and we are planned to keep them in one pasture to calve out to protect. We're gonna sacrifice one of our quarters to protect the other ones while they're in their most vulnerable stage of growth. That is as far as we've gotten for pasture rejuvenation. We are going to plan more of that starting in second semester. Does that answer your question?
I'd like to thank the Bison SMF team for an engaging presentation, and I'd like to announce we're going to have a 10-minute break for anyone who needs to move around, stretch, and there's bathrooms just outside the theater on the way to the cafeteria on the left side of the hallway. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to continue with our SMF presentations. Up next is the Purebred unit.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brooklyn Headley. I'm from Rapid City, Alberta, Manitoba. I'm the general manager of this year's Purebred Beef unit. This is our mid-year presentation. This year, our team consists of 17 members ranging from Alberta to Prince Edward Island. Our herd vision is to create functional, high-quality cattle to suit the needs of both purebred and commercial breeders from across, while advancing student learning and management. Last year's team left us 5 recommendations: to communicate directly and effectively with one another, to continue utilizing the AI program, to create a strong team bond early in the year, to have grooming and showmanship demonstrations to share knowledge across the team, and to create cost-effective rations. As of right now, we are currently on track to accomplish all of last year's recommendations. Our short-term goals are to create strong team dynamics, conduct efficient meetings, create opportunities for hands-on learning experiences for our team members, and to gain a more thorough understanding of our herd. Our long-term goals are to build a productive and high-performance herd, create uniformity within our team, and to build the Lakeland College brand while creating new industry contacts.
Good afternoon, my name is Chloe Lone, and I'm from Kilmere, Prince Edward Island, and I'm this year's team bonding organizer. For the 2023-2024 Purebred unit team, we decided we would like to host as many team bonding events as possible throughout the year. Our first team bonding event was held at Border Escape Rooms in Lloydminster, Alberta. There, we decided to split our overall team into 3 smaller teams to see who would be able to escape first. Overall, it was a great first team bonding event, and it was good to see team bonding skills set early on. Our second team bonding event was held at Striker Lanes here in Vermilion, Alberta to do some bowling. Again, we split our overall team into 3 smaller teams. Everyone who attended thoroughly enjoyed this event. Next semester, we would like to host as many team bonding events as possible.
Hi, my name is Dylan Fuller and I'm from Lacombe, Alberta, and our team this year has made a SWOT analysis to analyze our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Some of our strengths are experience and wide range of knowledge expressed within our team, large team size, and farm staff and advisors for mentorship within our team. Some of our weaknesses are small herd size, high turnover rate regarding the management of our herd, as we are only here for 8 months of the year, and the timing of our getting our show and sale cattle on feed, as other producers are earlier than us. And some of opportunities are semen and embryo donations, relationship with industry, high market prices than the other years previous, and threats, competition with the Angus breed, unpredictable weather, and public perception.
Hello, my name is Hannah Ring. I'm from Brooks, Alberta, and I'm one of this year's genetics and reproduction coordinators. Weaning went very well. Our bull calves weaned at 727 pounds and our heifer calves at 672 pounds. The team is very happy with these weights as they are well above the 43% of the dam's weight. We have 40 bred females due to calves starting in January. We had 10 open females. Of this, 3 were heifers. And of this, 2 heifers were accidentally bred to a neighboring Charolais bull and unfortunately had to be culled. Our open rate was 20%, which is substantially higher than our 5-year average of 7.2%. We believe that this could be due to transport at early gestation or possibly a mineral deficiency during the breeding season.
Our length of calving season. My name is Kelsey Weber. I'm from Goodsell, Saskatchewan, and I'm the other genetics and reproduction coordinator. Our length of calving season is still to be determined, but we suspect it to be 63 days due to our first cows being AI'd April 6th and the bull being pulled June 12th. Our 5-year average for our length of calving season is 67 days. Moving into our death loss, we had 1 cow die this year, 97E, and we suspect it from liver abscesses going systemic. Our calving season death loss is still to be determined, but our 5-year average is 8.5%. This year we had a total of 44 calves born, 19 AI calves, 16 walking bull calves, and 9 embryo calves. For more information, refer to page 32 in the booklet.
Good afternoon, my name is Lara Coleman and I am from Fort McMurray, Alberta, and I am one of this year's Records and Angus administrators. Currently our herd sits at 71 head, which can be broken down into 31 mature cows, 9 bred heifers, 17 replacement heifers, and 14 bull calves. After looking at market value and discussing as a team, we have decided that our herd value is $274,900.
Good afternoon, my name is Alicia Peterson. I am from Stettler, Alberta. I am also one of this year's Records and Angus administrators. October 12th, our team completed the registration of the remaining calves from the previous year. We had 8 embryo calves that required DNA testing prior to registration. Upon completion of DNA testing, we were informed 29L was a commercial calf, which our team decided to cull. This year, our team decided to quiet wean all 31 calves remaining on farm. We inserted nose flaps on September 6th and removed them on September 12th. The team also decided to hard wean all 8 cull calves on September 13th. We did this in attempts to reduce the amount of weight loss prior to auction.
Hello, my name is Jayton Corcoran. I'm from Ardrossan, Alberta, and I'm one of this year's herd health coordinators. So each animal that made into the replacement heifer pen or sale bull pen receives a tattoo as another form of identification. They get the Lakeland prefix of OAV as well as their tag number and the correlating letter year. Each tattoo is unique to those animals and can be found with their registration on the Canadian Angus website. The heifers in the show string, they were done November 8th, but due to daylight saving times and some time restraint, the bulls had to wait till November 29th.
Good afternoon, my name is Cheyenne Spangler. I'm from Alder Flats, Alberta, and I am also one of this year's Health and Treatments coordinators. This year we had to treat 97E with meloxicam on October 27th after consulting the vet, as we found she had a lack of condition but not showing any real signs of illness. Later that week, we reassessed her and decided it would be beneficial to give her a magnet in case of hybrid disease and another dose of meloxicam on October 31st. She died that night, and by doing a post-mortem, we suspected her death was caused by liver abscesses that went systemic. This year, our team also decided to do a mass treatment on all the heifers with Estromate on October 18th, as the heifers were starting to cycle while on pasture with the bull calves. This came to a cost of $4.33.
Upon weaning, all the calves received their vaccinations. They got Ultrabac 7, which is just to help and aid preventing any clostridial diseases. They also received Bovishield Gold 1 shot. This is to help aid in any chances of respiratory diseases. The show animals, before going down to Regina, we decided as a team they should get a booster. So they got Bovalis Nasalgin 3-PMH. This one's pretty cool as it's done intranasally. We gave it to them just as a precaution. They had a long trip down there and they're going to be exposed to a lot of different things while they were there.
Good evening, my name is Lexi Dietrich. I'm from Forsberg, Alberta, and I'm this year's Public Relations Coordinator. The goals with my position this year were to increase followers and industry interest, to present a strong agriculture representation, capture high-quality photos, and show the opportunities given through the SMF program and to reach a larger audience. Our top post this year on Facebook was our post about inviting everybody out to the stall to come to a visit at Agribition. This post gained 112 likes and reached 1,917 accounts. Our top post on Instagram was our show cattle preparations post. This post included images of the team learning more about clipping, washing, and blowing, and this post gained 69 likes and reached 231 accounts. Overall, I have posted about our weaning procedure this year, meet the team, our open house, show cattle preparations, and as well as Agribition 2023. Feel free to scan these QR codes to find our accounts on Facebook and Instagram to keep up to date with what the team has been up to.
My name is Isabella Acorn. I'm from Dundas, Prince Edward Island, and I'm one of this year's show team coordinators. Last month, our team attended the Canadian Western Agribition in Regina, Saskatchewan. This was a great opportunity for us to showcase our 2023-2024 show strain. Our 3F'er calves placed 2nd, 5th, and 8th, and our 1 show bull OAV Showtime 22L placed 5th in class. Our other 2 bulls were on display in the yards. Our goals going to Agribition were to exhibit the cattle to the best of our ability, as well as gain networking experience. We believe that we achieved both of these goals as we had numerous producers stop by the stall to ask questions and interact with the team.
Good afternoon, my name is Chloe Lone, and I'm also one of this year's Purebred Team Show Coordinators. Listed here is the 2023 Agribition Show expenses. For entry fees, we budgeted $1,000, and we spent $931.47, meaning we saved $62.53. For show supplies, we budgeted $200, and we spent $160.93, meaning we saved $39.07. For hotels, we budgeted $1,000 and spent $1,000, and for fuel, we budgeted $800, and we spent $750, meaning we saved $50 on fuel.
Hello, my name is Casey Thompson. I'm from Cardiff, Saskatchewan, and I'm one of this year's nutrition coordinators. This year, our show strain consists of 3 bulls and 3 heifers, and their ration consists of 12 pounds of hay, 8 pounds of soaked beet pulp, 2.5 pounds of barley grain, and 8 pounds of crete pellets for a total weight of 20.5 pounds, or 30.5 pounds, and a dry matter weight of 25 pounds, for a total cost of $4.01. All these numbers are on a per head, per day basis. And so far this year, our bulls have been gaining 3.55 pounds per day, and our heifers have been gaining 3.12 pounds per day.
Hi, my name is Maddie Webster, and I'm from Kawartha Lakes, Ontario. I am this year's other nutrition coordinator. This is our heifer ration that they were put on September 18th. It has 19 pounds of barley silage, 7 pounds of hay, and 2.5 pounds of barley grain, as well as half a pound of our beef supplement. It works out to be 15.5 pounds of dry matter and 29 pounds of as fed. The cost of this ration is $1.68 per head per day. The 14 heifers on this ration have been gaining 1.9 pounds per day. Our goal for these heifers were to gain 1.5 pounds per day. With them gaining over our goal, we have been keeping an eye on them to make sure they do not become overconditioned.
Our sale bull ration consists of 20 pounds of barley silage, 14 pounds of barley grain, half a pound of hay, and 2 pounds of 3812 supplement, for a total weight of 36.5 pounds as fed, or 22.2 pounds dry matter, and for a total cost of $3.47. So far this year, our bulls have been gaining 2.85 pounds per day, where we've been wanting them to gain 3.3 pounds per day, so they have not been meeting our requirements. But to try and make them meet the requirements, we've been adjusting their ration by adding a little more barley grain into their ration to try and up the protein a little bit to try and meet our goal.
I'm Carlin Rajat from Peebles, Saskatchewan, and I'm this year's range and forage coordinator. Our grazing cost was $10,854.60, which was $2,709.60 higher than what was budgeted for. This is due to the fact that the cows were able to rotational graze, which increased the number of grazing days. The cows are still out currently aftermath grazing due to the warmer weather. This should result in a lower feeding cost this winter.
In order to calculate the break-even price, our team has accounted for the cost to purchase calves in September, the cost of feed, a 4% industry standard death loss, yardage costs, which have included labor, miscellaneous costs, which consist of vet bills and sale deductions. The break-even period is 6 months, ranging from September 2023 to March 2024, when our bull calves will sell. For our sale bull pen, our
our break-even price is $2,758. That is on a per head basis.
Hello, my name is Hannah Ring, and I am also one of this year's finance coordinators. The team had higher than anticipated cull sales this year in relation to higher market prices, calves not suited to our program, and we also unfortunately had to cull our bull due to reproductive issues. We collected a check from one of our roundup sale bulls later than anticipated, so it is reflected back here. We also had higher cull sales than anticipated due to higher market prices and having to cull some breeding stock. Cull bull prices were not anticipated for the 2023-24 year. However, our bull had some reproductive issues and was needed to be culled.
Hello again, my name is Cheyenne Schwengler, and I'm also one of this year's finance coordinators. Upon analyzing this pie chart, some of the team's most notable expenses to date have been our breeding and livestock purchases. This is due to our last year's cutoff for embryo and recipient expenses. Additionally, our labor has also increased due to meeting industry standards, resulting in our over-budgeted amount for this year. Our team is on track for our feed expenses this year thanks to our herd still being on aftermath grazing. However, these costs will be increasing and will be reflected accordingly in our year-end presentation. The amount of our other costs and other is composed of show expenses, roundup expenses, utilities deductions, custom trekking, and farm supplies. This season has witnessed an increase in the number of calves compared to last year, resulting in an increase in our registration numbers. Not all the budgeted amounts details have been included in the slide for presentation purposes. For a complete overview of the budget, please refer to page 38 of the booklet.
My name is Cameron Gillen. I'm from Caryville, Saskatchewan, and I'm one of this year's marketing and roundup coordinators. This year's call sales included one mature bull for $2,250.82 due to a broken penis, 4 bull calves for a total of $8,260.57 due to low weaning weight and phenotype, 3 heifer calves for a total of $5,931.36 due to structure and performance, 2 steer calves for a total of $4,938.70, 8 cull cows for a total of $16,607.59 due to open rate and structure, 3 late calving breds for a total of $7,664.93 due to the neighbor Charolais bull getting out and breeding them, bringing our total call sales to $45,113.97.
Hi, my name is Dylan Fuller, and I'm from Lacombe, Alberta, and I'm one of this year's Roundup and Marketing Coordinators. Our team is projected to sell 13 purebred Black Angus bulls along with 1 Red Angus. And we have allotted a spot for purebred Black Angus females that will be selected at a later date, as we'll be selecting replacement heifers and sale heifers at the same time. Our sale will be held at the Lakeland Equine Center March 23rd at a 1 o'clock start.
Thank you to our generous and continual donors, Shaft Angus Valley, Select Sires, and Borson Marketing Services for the embryo and semen donations.
We would like to take this time to thank New Holland Agriculture, Austin Partington, Kyle, Leroy, the rest of the farm team, and the other SMF units. We would now like to open the floor for any questions.
Your open rate was high. What is your plan on changing that for moving forward?
So the question was just regarding our open rate and what our plan is to combat this in the future. So I will pass this on to one of our genetics and repro coordinators, Hannah Ring.
We are planning to reassess the success of our sync program from this past year, and we'll be changing it for the upcoming breeding season. Does this answer your question? Industry standard is to keep it below, I think, 4%. So we're aiming for that always, but unfortunately, I'd like to keep it around our 5-year average of 7.2%. Does this answer your question? Thank you.
Thank you to the Purebred SMF team for a great presentation. Up next is the Equine unit.
Hello everyone, my name is Allison Hampton. I'm this year's Equine Unit General Manager, and our team consists of 18 students across Canada, including BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and the Yukon, all coming from English and Western disciplines. Our vision is to produce, select, and train quality quarter horses with excellent dispositions and conformation in an economically sustainable format. Our team has developed a SWOT analysis this year to identify our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats within our unit. One of our strengths includes the size of our team. Our team works well. All coming from different backgrounds within industry brings forward a variety of skill sets within our unit. Minimal conflict within our team is also one of our strengths. Our team works well by understanding each other's strengths while supporting each other's weaknesses. 100% foal crop is also included in this. All 6 broodmares caught, carried, and foaled out, producing a total of 6 foals.
Good afternoon. My name is Taylor Swedgen. I'm from Elk Point, Alberta, and I'm the secretary of this year's Equine SMF team. Some weaknesses that we have decided upon is a lack of experience within the industry, as we are a team composed of young individuals just starting in the industry of horse training and breeding. High input costs are another, as it is expensive to breed mares, feed all the horses in our inventory, and to purchase geldings in the spring. The last weakness that we have decided to include is the number of days off riding that our geldings have. With the combination of weekends, holidays, and school activities, our geldings have almost as many days off as they do being rode. Some opportunities that we have in our team is a strong horse market, as well-broke, well-mannered geldings that have a background working cows and being roped off of are in high demand right now. The roundup sale and ranch horse competition in the spring is another opportunity, as it gives interested buyers a chance to come view the geldings being worked before sale time. The last opportunity that we have is our contribution to the Tiana Friesen Memorial Scholarship and having a horse donated to the scholarship fund to help keep the legacy of Tiana alive.
Hello, my name is Willow Harder. I'm from Waltham, Saskatchewan. I'm this year's Equine Mixed Farm Coordinator. Some of the threats we face in the equine industry include injury and health risks to both students and horses. At the beginning of the semester, unfortunately, we lost a gelding due to an injury. Another threat we face is the potential fluctuations in the horse market. We are thankful that it is in our favor right now, but it does have potential to change. The third threat our team decided to go with is the changing demographic in the industry. It seems that as more students enter the program, they have less experience as in prior years.
Hi, my name is Jenna Moore. I'm from Weyburn, Saskatchewan, and I'm one of this year's Roundup coordinators. The key performance indicators that we've decided on this year for the geldings are monthly cost per horse rode. Our cost is $744.45 compared to industry standard of $1,200. Our horses rode per hour is 1 horse per 2 hours compared to industry standard of 1 horse per hour. This is due to our lack of experience compared to industry professionals, and our saleable horses per purchased is at 86% due to losing one gelding. Industry standard is 85%. The KPIs for the broodmares this year are conception rate. Our conception rate from last year was 100% compared to industry standard of 75 to 80%. Our saleable foals per mare bred is also 100% due to all of our mares having live foals with no complications. Industry standard is 75%. And our cost per foal raised is $3,138.25 compared to industry standard of $2,800. Our cost is higher due to not having our own stallion and having to haul our mares to stud owners and pay mare care.
I'm Aaliyah Kruger from Whitehorse, Yukon, and I'm this year's Standard Operating Procedures Coordinator. This year we have a herd inventory of 6 broodmares, 5 started geldings, 6 weanlings, 3 of which have been sold through Facebook auction, and 1 culled horse.
Hi, my name is Taylor Riddell. I'm from Sturgeon County, Alberta, and I'm this year's Training Records Coordinator. On the screen behind me are the following benchmarks for sale geldings. In September, this includes walk, trot, lope, and crossing trail obstacles. In the month of October, this includes more obstacles such as the tarp, rope, and flag, and riding outside. And lastly, for the month of November, we hope to be working cattle and roping the heliomatic. Due to having a few difficult geldings this year, not all the benchmarks were met for the first two months. But however, by November, all the benchmarks have been met, and we're on track for next semester. Next semester, the following benchmarks for our geldings include January, loping circles, cutting the flag, and roping the heliomatic. For the month of February, working and tracking the cattle. And lastly, for the month of March, we hope to have the geldings pen roping. By consistently riding our geldings 5 days a week, exposing them to cattle and roping, and a show-like atmosphere at a ranch club competition, we hope to achieve our benchmarks.
Hello everyone, my name is Haley Nelson. I am from Longview, Alberta, and I am one of this year's Roundup coordinators. This year, our team has come up with some long-term and short-term goals that we are striving towards. Our first short-term goal was to be riding our SMF geldings consistently by the end of November. We have achieved this goal. We had also planned to have a team bonding event with our first years end of the first semester. We are currently working on getting everyone together early in the second semester and getting to know each other. We had hoped to have our weanlings halter broke quickly and efficiently by November 15th. We can now say that we have successfully achieved this goal. Some of our long-term goals include roping cattle confidently on our SMF geldings by the Roundup sale. We are currently working on this. Our reproduction coordinator is working on choosing genetics for the broodmare herd by the end of February. We hope to expand our views on social media, which is Facebook and Instagram. We are currently at 439 followers on Instagram and hope to reach 500 followers by final presentations. We are getting closer to this goal every day.
Hello, my name is Annika Ecker-Vogt-Brewster. I'm from Haines Junction, Yukon Territory, traditional territory of the Champagne and Ajax First Nations, and I am this year's timesheets coordinator. My job is to intake everybody's SMF hours into a spreadsheet and monitor how evenly individuals are contributing to our SMF team. The 2022-2023 SMF team recommended to us that we sell our weanlings via soft-closed Facebook auction, consider fillies for the colt starting program, and look at purchasing proven broodmares if ours were unsuccessful in the spring of 2023. Our team's progress on these recommendations is as follows. We are actively selling our weanlings via soft-closed Facebook auction. We are seeing great results and reaching a large consumer audience. Fillies are no longer out of the question when it comes to our colt starting program, as long as they continue to match our team's vision. And finally, this spring, all of our broodmares had a live, healthy foal, meaning they are now all proven, and we are not looking to expand our broodmare herd at this time.
Hello, my name is Kira Troutman. I'm from Spruce Grove, Alberta, and I'm this year's AQHA Records Coordinator. The break-even price is determined by adding all the expenses incurred by the geldings and divided by the number of horses we have. The break-even price per gelding is $9,101.16. This is slightly higher due to the increase of feed cost and to cover the expenses of one lost gelding. The broodmares and the geldings have some of the same expenses, but the broodmares have stud fees and mare care while the geldings do not. The total cost for the broodmares is $18,829.53. Dividing this up between 6 foals makes the break-even price per foal $3,138.25.
Hello, my name is Faith Newton. I'm from Willow River, BC, and I'm the finance coordinator this year. Our total projected income is $79,200, with $10,800 coming from the weanlings and $68,400 from the geldings. As of our November 15th cutoff date, one weanling had been sold for $3,900. Our total broodmare expenses so far this year are $11,200, with the majority going to feed and stud fees. The feed, labor, and equipment rental costs in your booklet have been updated, so please refer to the slide for the actual amount. Looking at our broodmare budget, we went over budget on pasture costs by $261, but as that is only a summer expense, we won't be going any further over it this year. We have also gone slightly over our equipment rental budget, just due to increasing fuel and other related costs. Our total gelding expenses so far this year are $30,680, with the majority going to livestock purchases and vet and medical costs. Once again, please refer to the slide for the updated feed, labor, and equipment rental costs. Looking at our gelding budget so far this year, we have gone over budget on equipment rental slightly, just once again due to increasing fuel and other related costs.
Hello, my name is Rick Croy. I'm from High Level Alberta. I'm one of this year's public relations coordinators. Right now on Facebook, we have 1,700 Facebook likes. Since taking over our Facebook page, we have gained 90 new followers, which puts us at 2,100. Since taking over our Instagram page, we have gained 71 new followers, which puts us at 439 followers. Our highest reach post on Instagram was of the colt starters riding around the arena to trendy music, which reached 689 people. Our highest reach post on Facebook was of the colt starters riding in one of the pastures to trendy music, which reached 23,000 people.
Hi, my name is Lita Crawler, and I'm from Morley, Alberta First Nations, and I'm one of the public relations coordinators. Since we have a lot of action that goes on within our unit, we saw that as an opportunity to create more content and post every week to keep our audience engaged and updated on the weanlings and geldings. This year we have decided to sell our weanlings through an online soft auction on Facebook where there is zero charge and the bidding time is expanded. Here is an example of our first weanling, the Bay Filly, getting sold and going to her new home.
Hello, my name is Caitlin Airchuk. I'm from Vermilion, Alberta, and I'm this year's stable management coordinator. We use a program called EquiCity to help us keep records and organize first-year students when they're helping us with SMF gelding chores through AN 341. Some of the things we're looking on adding to this program are health and training tasks or health and training records.
There are a number of standard operating procedures for horse health regulations and maintaining barn standards and cleanliness. I took it upon myself to put up posters throughout the barn to help make sure people are aware of the etiquette and duties to keep it clean.
Hello, my name is Lauren Homer. I'm from Ponoka, Alberta, and I'm this year's Range and Forage coordinator. For a budget versus actual cost, our broodmares are higher than our geldings. This is because we hadn't yet acquired pasture for them until this summer. Our broodmares cost $691, and we save money due to the fact that we don't have to supply hay for them until they are brought back to the college. For our broodmares versus geldings cost, our broodmares are lower than our geldings, and this is because we pay a flat fee rate of $691 versus our geldings, which we pay $1.30 per day when they are placed on LC11 until they are brought back to the college to begin training.
Hi, my name is Emily McMillan. I'm from Anarad, Saskatchewan, and I am this year's feed management coordinator. In our current broodmare ration, they are eating 46 pounds of 2023 Cody hay and a free choice cobalt salt block. This ration comes to a total of $5.59 per head per day. In our current gelding ration, they are eating 40 pounds of 2023 Cody hay, 5 pounds of whole oats, and a free choice cobalt salt block. This ration comes to a total of $5.78 per head per day. In our current weanling ration, they are eating 23 pounds of 2023 Cody hay, 5 pounds of whole oats, and 150 grams of a free choice Hoffman's mineral. This ration comes to a total of $3.92 per head per day. In our geldings fitting ration for next semester, our goal is for them to reach a body condition score of 6.5 by the roundup sale. In order to achieve this goal, our geldings will be eating 40 pounds of 2023 Cody hay, 2.5 pounds of whole oats, and 2.5 pounds of a Hoffman's Elite feed. This ration comes to a total of $7.35 per head per day.
This year we have 6 foals to register, 1 filly, and 5 geldings to transfer the Lakeland College name. We also got 4 DNA kits done for our broodmares as requested from AQHA, and 1 DNA kit done for our weanling as has a big roan patch on its side.
Good afternoon, my name is Charlie Turon. I'm from St. Albert, Alberta. I'm this year's breeding coordinator, and we are very proud of all of our last year's broodmares as they all had successful pregnancies without any complications. Average breeding cost is $633.33. Average mare care cost is $235. Holly was bred to Obsessed with Corona. Monica was bred to Vanilla Latte. Both Chantel and Robin were bred to Andy's Little Step. Laura and Lena were both bred to Circle Bar Grey Gun. Holly's total was $1,713.17. Monica's total was $1,809.17. Both Chantel and Robin's total was $765.17. Laura's total was $1,024.17, and Lena's total was $824.17.
This year, the mixed farm team took on the project of updating the field and pasture signs. On these signs, it will include the name of the field and pasture along with a QR code. The QR code will take you to the website, the Lakeland College land map, along with crop information. The project is estimated to be around $1,000, which will be paid for through the college farm sale. There will be 4 big signs that will go to Barnyard, Bison pastures, pastures 22 to 24, and LC 25. There will be smaller pastures in other various places.
Our 4th annual Roundup sale will take place at Lakeland College's Equine Center on March 23, 2024. We are offering 5 AQHA geldings as well as 1 donation filly, which will be discussed later on in the presentation. As a team, we have decided not to include our weanlings in the Roundup sale and instead post them on Facebook in auction format. We came to the conclusion that this would be a more profitable method of sale.
Hello, my name is Mackenzie Hannes. I am from Williams Lake, BC, and I am this year's health coordinator. The geldings have had the following vaccinations presented to you on the screen. The geldings have all been cognance tested, and their feet are currently being trimmed. The total gelding cost so far this year is $3,800.43. This is due to Dale's porcupine incident and a farm call for Jerry as he had a lump under his throat that we thought could be strangles, but the vet came to the conclusion that it was not. The broodmares have had the following vaccinations presented to you on the screen. The weanlings have been dewormed with Equivalent Gold, and their feet are currently being done. On July 2nd, 2 mares were preg checked, and they were both confirmed in full. We will be vaccinating for pneumobort K to prevent abortions due to the equine herpes virus. The total cost for the broodmares is $1,046.33. This is due to vaccinations, breeding exams, and dewormer for both mares and weanlings.
Earlier this semester, our broodmare team noticed one of the weanlings had developed a hernia, where there was a lump spotted where the umbilical cord was. Our team is currently dealing with it and have decided to delay him from the sale. In the meantime, there will be further discussion to decide what will be the best option for this weanling.
My name is Lakeland Gibson and I'm from Lake Country, BC. I am a public relations coordinator this year. Earlier this spring, the equine unit decided to purchase a buckskin filly for the upcoming school year for the colt starting team. Unfortunately, she was showing signs of calcification on her front pasterns. From then, we did a soundness check and she showed no signs of lameness. This led us to the decision to post her on Facebook on an online auction where we would share full disclosure of her medical issues. The Roan stud colt was our very first online auction on Facebook as he had the most interest in his previous post. Unfortunately, the night before the sale was supposed to end, we noticed an injury on his front pasterns. As of right now, he is pulled from the sale. In 2021, Tiana Friesian graduated from Lakeland College. On August 23, 2023, Tiana Friesian tragically passed away, leaving behind her 2 horses, Foxy and Junebug. Tiana's parents decided to donate Tiana's younger horse, Junebug, to the scholarship in Tiana's name. At the 2024 Roundup sale, all proceeds made from Junebug will go into the scholarship in Tiana's name.
We would now like to thank New Holland Agriculture, Tracy Quinton, Denise Martin, our SMF advisors, the farm team, and faculty for their continued support throughout the year. We would now like to open the floor to any questions. Yes.
How did you guys come to the conclusion together that it'd be better to sell the weanlings online versus in the roundup sale?
The question was, how did we come to the conclusion of selling our weanlings in the online over the roundup sale? I'm going to transfer this question to our roundup coordinator, Jenna.
We as a team decided that it would be more profitable as we don't have to pay a commission on Facebook, and it's free, and the soft close allows the auction to go longer. The commission for the roundup was going to cost us around $600 to put the weanlings in the sale. Does this answer your question?
Are there any other questions at this time? Yes.
When we're talking about stud fees, we read the last two courses that started without the same stud, but the fees were different. Why was that?
The question was why our two stud fees were different for the last two studs that we bred our mare to. I'm going to hand this question over to our repro coordinator, Charlie.
So the mare that has a higher mare care or stud fee, she was brought to the facility a lot sooner than the other mares. Does that answer your question?
One of the mares was having a rebreed fee, so that's why the fee was only $150, while the other mare was the full stud fee. Does this answer your question?
Are there any other questions at this time? Yes.
What was the porcupine incident?
The question was, what was the porcupine incident? I'm going to call on Kenzie, our health coordinator, to answer this question.
So for the porcupine incident, one of the geldings was off campus when it happened. And he, I guess, got a little too curious about the porcupine, and his face just happened to be in the way.
Thank you.
Thank you, Equine unit. I'm going to call up the commercial unit next.
Good afternoon. I am Alicia Coltis, and I have the pleasure of being this year's General Manager of the Commercial Beef Unit. Behind me on the screen is my amazing team that consists of 18 students from across Canada. Our team completed a SWOT analysis this year as a team. Some of our strengths include a strong team dynamic, expanding industry knowledge as we were able to meet with other beef producers in the area, and brand recognition as we represent the LCV brand proudly across Western Canada. Some weaknesses we may face this year is team size. We consist of 18 students, and this causes us to have many different opinions when decisions are being made. Drought is another weakness because of the area we live in and economies of scale. We are maxed out at 100 cows, and this causes us to have less than 100 calves to split our expenses across each year. 3 opportunities that we feel that we have this year as a SMF team is working with other producers and SMF teams this year, different marketing opportunities as we were able to travel to Regina to the Canadian Western Agribition with a pen of 3 open replacement heifers, and the final opportunity is the resources and facilities that we are fortunate enough to be able to work in daily. 3 threats we feel that we face as a team this year is feed and pasture availability, global economic factors such as no meat Mondays starting to happen in elementary schools, and the potential of a disease outbreak that could impact our herd. 3 recommendations that we had from last year's team that we have completed is attending exhibition. We were able to attend exhibition with 9 of our members to compete in the replacement open heifer sale with a pen of 3 open heifers. We visited our herd up at Lee Park before bringing our calves home at weaning in mid-September. And finally, we have posted on Facebook every week so far and hope to continue to do this the rest of the year.
Hi, my name is Jessica Leonard, and I am this year's secretary. Some previous goals that were recommended to us from last year's team includes continuing discussion posts on Facebook and team bonding every 2 weeks. Our mission statement for this year is striving to raise quality beef through educational opportunities and hands-on experiences while creating relationships within industry.
Hello, my name is Kier Slout. I'm this year's SOP coordinator. This year as a team, we came up with some long and short-term goals. Our short-term goals being improve genetics through culling and bull purchase, complete a monthly finance report on year-to-date, maintain team bonding and get to know each other outside of SMF, decrease our open rate to the industry standard of 4% or less. Our long-term goals were to maintain a medium frame size for our selection criteria, have the whole team do an analysis on all decisions, support and encourage team members with your experience and knowledge, and keep production records and inventory updated using herd tracks.
Hello, my name is Megan Lease, and I am this year's Herd Tracks and Records coordinator. We use gold to assess our herd's production throughout the years. Our calves that were born at the beginning of this year came back with a growth rate of 52.5% of the dam's weight. We as a team are very excited about this due to being above industry standard and have increased since last year's calf crop. This year we preg checked on November 1st, where we are sitting at a 9% open rate. This is 5% over industry standard. The 2022-2023 commercial beef team presented a 5.8 death loss. We had to change this to a 7% due to us losing a steer out on pasture this summer. The 2023-2024 calving season, length of calving season and death loss will be evaluated during our 2024 calving season that starts this upcoming January and will be presented at our year-end presentation. Please refer to page 51 of the booklet for more information on our gold measures from the last 5 years.
Hi, my name's Megan Pfeffer, and I'm this year's Facilities and Events Coordinator. This year we weaned our calves on September 26th, and as a team we were very happy with how the calves looked bringing them back to the college. Our steer's average wean weight was 758 pounds, and our heifer's average wean weight was 681 pounds. This is the highest wean weight the college has seen in the last 5 years. We think this is because of pasture condition throughout the summer, as well as increased selection due to previous teams focusing on production. Please refer to page 52 in the booklet for more information.
My name is Cole Seidel, and I am this year's reproduction coordinator. This first semester, we've been focused on assessing our heifer calves. When we brought our calves off pasture, we immediately culled 6 calves as they did not fit into the uniformity of our herd. We then graded the remaining 36 for soundness, conformation, and body structure to determine which may be suitable replacement heifers or fit into a pen for a roundup sale. Of these, 3 calves stood out above the rest. Calves 149, 164, and 180L will be calves to keep an eye on. We also pregnancy checked our cows, which produced interesting results. Overall, we had a 9% open rate, which is similar to that of producers in the area. If we break this percentage down further, our mature cow open rate was 4%, similar to industry standard. This means, however, that our open rate for yearlings was much higher and sits at 38%. We suspect this is due to changing their feed at the time of breeding. We also proposed funds be added to the farm budget so that we may purchase an additional bull for the upcoming breeding season. We are still awaiting a decision.
Hello, I'm Taylor Hines. I am this year's inventory coordinator. My job is to keep an updated electronic list of the herd, which consists of 3 herd bulls, 35 replacement heifers, and 99 cows.
Hi, my name is Riley Engel. I'm this year's marketing coordinator. This year our team completed 3 break-evens to start off to determine the best price to sell our steer crop. We chose to sell 45 head of steers to Vermilion Livestock Exchange for an average of $3.59 per pound, and they averaged 743 pounds across the scale over there. After we had 4 steers that averaged $1,907 per head as culls, 6 heifers that averaged $1,863 per head, And after preg checking, we sent over the 4 open cows that averaged $1,876 per head, and the 6 yearling heifers that averaged $2,939 per head. As you can see behind on this graph, the orange dot represents the time that we sold at $3.59 a pound, and the blue line represents the market average at Vermilion Livestock Exchange over the fall run. For more information on the break-evens, please reference page 57 and 58 in the booklet.
My name is Carlin Rennie, and I'm this year's show and roundup coordinator. This year, our team took a pen of 3 heifers to Canadian Western Exhibition. These heifers placed second in their split and sold for the second highest price of the open replacement sale at $3,500 a head. Our break-even price on these was $2,524, therefore our profit was $975 a head. This year's roundup sale will take place on March 23, 2024 at the Equine Center here at the college. The commercial team will have open replacement heifers on offer. If you're interested in a catalog, reach out to someone on the team and we'll point you in the right direction.
Hi, my name is Ellie Hebert and I am this year's nutrition coordinator. When our calves came home on September 26, we sorted out our heifers and started them on long stem hay for about 5 days. After this, our heifers were put on a ration consisting of Kobe hay, barley silage, barley grain, and 38-12 beef supplement. This ration is formulated to support the growth of our heifers with a gain of 1.5 pounds per day. They are currently gaining 2 pounds per day. With this ration, we focused on meeting the nutritional needs of our heifers while supporting their growth so they can reach 60% of mature weight by March. This ration is currently costing us $1.39 per day. Currently, the Purebred nutrition coordinators and I are working on a cow ration for when our cows come home from pasture later in December. With this ration, we're focusing on meeting the cow's nutritional needs and using the least amount of hay and silage required. This is due to the lack of snow we've had this year and in fear of another drought.
My name is Matthew Unger, and I'm this year's range and forage coordinator. This year, our 108 cows and 3 herd bulls went on our grazing lease at Lee Park on May 15th for a total of 165 days. At $1.30 per head per day, this cost us $23,809. Due to the great pasture quality, we were able to extend our grazing season and keep our cows on grass till November. Currently, our cows are stubble grazing with the purebred herd on college land east of the campus, costing us $1 per head per day, helping to decrease our winter feed costs.
Hi, I'm Courtney Montgomery, this year's health coordinator. This fall, we vaccinated our heifer calves with Bovie Shield Gold One-Shot, Ultrabec 7, and Ivomec. We vaccinated our Agribition heifers with Bovolus Nasalgen, and we have vaccinated our bred heifers with Scourguard.
I'm Lexi Porosny. I'm the treatment coordinator. We had 1 sore cow come home with the calves in September, so we treated her with meloxicam, and when we weren't seeing results, we took her to the vet to get her hooves trimmed to see if that was a factor. He also gave her Oxyvet 200. Now she's back with the herd, happy and healthy.
Hello, my name is Carter Bymank, and I am this year's mixed farm coordinator. This year through Mixed Farm, I had the opportunity to do some field mapping. I started out the year mapping the new rented land where I got a total cultivated area of 170 acres out of a 320 acre section. I then moved on to pieces LCP 23 and 24, where I got 140 acres on LCP 23 and 74 acres on LCP 24. The reason for field mapping is so that we can count our amount of pasture for AUM calculations and manure spreading. For manure spreading this year, we spread a total of 4,770 metric tons, which 1,570 metric tons went to the swanky land at 7 tons to the acre for a spread cost of $7.28 per acre. The totals for each unit are dairy, 1,140 metric tons, equine, 1,140, research, 800 pounds, and for all three beef teams, 1,660 metric tons.
Hello, my name is Justin Meston. I'm this year's risk management coordinator. This year, our cows were on LC13 and had a potential risk of abortion. We found that they could have become more docile and little to no risk of abortion. We also had heifers at Agribition who got an intranasal booster shot to mitigate the risk of sickness. We had a high open rate on heifers, and that has been looked into through all aspects of the production cycle. We also had a feed shortage, so we kept our cows up on pasture till the end of October, and we kept our first year safe by culling our cow herd and heifers for temperament.
Hi, I'm Tim Moritz. I'm this year's finance coordinator. For our biggest sales this year, we have steer sales, heifer sales, and livestock products. For steer sales, we brought in a staggering $127,000. For our heifer sales, we brought in $31,000. And for our livestock products, we brought in $10,000. For our steer sales, we'd budgeted $85,000, giving us a $42,000 increase in what was expected. For our heifer sales, we'd budgeted $23,500, giving us a $7,500 increase. And for our livestock products, we'd budgeted $6,000, giving us a $4,000 increase. For our biggest expenses this year, we have feed and bedding coming in at $23,500, and then our pasture rent coming in at $23,000, and our corral cleaning coming in at $8,200. We'd budgeted our feed and bedding to be $65,000, leaving us $41,500 left for the rest of the year. Our pasture expense was budgeted to be $25,000, leaving us with $2,000 left over. And our corral cleaning was budgeted to be $6,000, putting us $2,200 over budget.
Hello, I'm Elizabeth Jones and I'm this year's research coordinator. Over the past few years, the commercial beef unit has participated in 2 separate trials. The neonatal was a 2-year trial. 3 days after birth, blood would be drawn from the calf and then they would be administered 10 milliliters of a neonatal oral supplement or a saline solution. 3 days after that, blood would be drawn again to see the effects of the oral supplement. The purpose of this trial was to see if one oral supplement of vitamins A, D, E, and selenium is better than 2 injectable shots. The Who's Your Daddy is a 3-year trial. DNA was taken from every calves and the bulls used for breeding that year. The purpose of this is to see the outcome of different sires in a multi-sire operation.
Good afternoon. I am Tamara Westergaard, and I am this year's Public Relations Coordinator. In September, we had 1,088 followers and 947 likes. We now have 1,157 followers and 998 likes, with our Facebook page reach up to 897%. With our most liked post being on November 20th with 4,282 impressions and 4,282 reaches. We think this is because we are taking the time to thank the 3 companies for donating to our team's SMF jackets. This is the 2nd year for our Instagram page, and we started off with 149 followers, and we now have 201 followers. Please follow, with our most liked post being on September 26th with 67 likes. Please follow our Facebook page at LC Commercial Beef Unit and our Facebook page at Lakeland Commercial Beef.
Hello, I'm Taylor Hines. I'm also this year's current event coordinator. My job is to find interesting articles happening in the beef industry and bring them to my team every month. Some of the articles we have followed is the Denmark beef tax, the lawsuit against the top 4 U.S. meat plants, as well as the Tyson agreement with an insect ingredient company. Behind me, there's a QR code to the article about the lawsuit against Cargill, JBS, Tyson, and National Beef Packaging. The commercial team found this the most interesting because they're being accused of keeping cattle prices low and meat prices high, causing inflation in our industry. There is a request for a trial in the future, so there's currently no updates. We are hopefully going to still follow it and see what happens.
On behalf of the commercial beef team, I would like to thank everyone on the screen behind me. We could not have been this successful this far in the semester without our advisor, Bevan Hamilton, the Dean of Agriculture, Tracy Quinton, New Holland Agriculture, Kyle Hafner, along with all other farm staff. At this time, I will now open the floor up for any questions.
We're open commercial heifers. Does that answer your question?
So the question was, what was the cause of death for the steer on pasture? So I can answer this question. So when farm staff went up to Lee Park, and Carson, the guy who we rent Lee Park from, when they were rounding up the calves, unfortunately we had one steer missing, and it is due to unknown circumstances that he would be deceased on pasture. Does this answer your question? So the question was, we had a 38% open rate on our heifers, and he's just wondering why feed is our main cause of that open rate. I'll pass this over to our reproduction coordinator, Cole.
So there's a lot that can go into their open rate. We suspect feed simply because we changed it as they went out, and we think that this could have suppressed their heat cycles, causing that high open rate, allowing for 6 of the heifers to be open. Does that answer your question?
Everyone can please keep seated until we have the final words. That would be great.
I'd like to thank the commercial unit for their presentation, and once again all the SMF teams for presenting today. I'd like to thank the farm staff and the following people: Chris Leroy Lehman, Amber Sayers, April Warlow, Sharon Reeder, Joanne Dixon, Cal Hafner, Keith Wurstel, Madison Smith, Jaden Kramer, Bailey Luce, Justin Kane.
I would also like to thank some of the people on the faculty: Nadine Farkash, Amy Stanley, Obi Daruna, Carrion Vandenberg, and Janet Kerr for their assistance, and finally Trisha Mecker and Dennis Martin for all they do to assist SMF.
A big thank you to all the markers out in the audience today as well. Hopefully you guys give them all a good mark, as we all enjoyed the presentations. And thank you everyone for coming. Have a good night.